the difference between 3D and 5D is like the difference between a child and adult. It's the same core being, but they have wisdom, they have experience, they have knowledge, and so it changes how they experience the world. I see 5D and 3D as vibrational data sets, and as such, they're like the Russian nesting dolls that when you're in 3D, you can't see anything above 3D, but when you're in 5D, you can see and participate in 3D. And a lot of people who are examining this idea of 5D think that riding the wave to 5D means then you're there. And I have observed that that's simply not true. We are vacillating between 3D and 5D and hovering closer and closer, and little things trigger us to drop back into 3D. Our own energy levels, our own commitment to our spiritual growth affect our ability to stay in 5D. And so 5D is a place that everyone else calls heaven, if we could give it a common framework. And 3D is where we're at now. What I can tell you is that our job becoming 5D is inevitable. So you will grow up, whether you want to or not. Mm-hmm. You can remain childlike, you can remain childish, but you're still going to grow up. And so the idea is move into that mastery gracefully, purposefully, rather than accidentally stumbling into it and struggling through it.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that Mother Earth is becoming a 5D planet again, and because of that, we are also ascending and expanding our consciousness? Is it?
Well, I think these are tandem events. I don't think one is a causer of the other. I also believe that Mother Earth is a little bit ahead of us and ready for shift and transition. And it's almost like she's waiting for us to catch up. One of the things that came through a number of years ago when I was teaching in Hong Kong, and it was a channeled message from Sanat Kumara. And the message was, the game is over, referring to 3D. The game is over. And just thinking of it as a game is huge. When one of my sons was in the military and he was in basic training, and they do all kinds of wacky stuff in basic training to prepare the young man for the possibility of war or difficult situations. So, they set them up in wacky situations. And he said to me, Mom, some of the guys in my unit are just freaking out over what they're doing. And he says, it's just a game. I was blown away that he could see that. But he'd played a lot of video games in his time, and he could clearly see the analogy and got it that all we have to do is get through this and we'll be fine. So the game is over. The game will end when there are no more players. Will you be the first to leave or the last? Mm-hmm. Pretty profound. And it basically says, okay, I'm either in or I'm not. And when I find myself falling out of the structure of 5D, I simply pick myself up and get back in that 5D environment. It doesn't mean that I have to stay in 3D. And we all have those moments. And I'll share with you a little something that I have been working on recently. I think